Namaskar and good evening to all. Welcome to all of you on our online talk show Reflections. Today we are in our 72nd episode celebrating 100 years of Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankar ji. Friends, today we have our guest from Mumbai. They both have treasured lot of knowledge about Pandit ji and his journey on music. On behalf of Pandit Ravi Shankar Music Foundation, I welcome Shri Nityanand Haldipurji and Shri Atul Marchandji to our show Reflections.
Namaskar.
Namaskar Nityanandji.
Namaskar.
Namaskar Atulji. Hope you both are fine. Let me share that Maima Sukanya Shankarji, she is very happy to see you both and welcomed you both to the show Reflections.
My pranam to her.
I call her Chinnamma.
I am the only person in this universe to call her Maima. So it's very nice to see you both on our show, and it will be a very interesting conversation. So I invite Shri Gaurav Majumdar to continue the conversation.
Namaskar, Nabarun. Namaskar, Nityanandji.
Namaskar,
Atul Bhai.
Babaji.
Namaskar. My greetings to all of you, and absolutely thrilled. This is, I feel this is a very momentous occasion, and we are going to really have a great time, especially our listeners who have been following us since 70 odd episodes now, celebrating the birth centenary of Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, and you in Bombay, in the very place where Ma Annapurna ji lived for such a long time and taught, played, and gave all of you the wealth of music which she got from Baba. So
a word about this place. A word about this place is Annapurna Devi ji lived here since 1968 till her death in 2018. So 50 years, 50 full years.
How wonderful.
And the reason Pandit ji bought this apartment was in the same building, same apartment, they used to host National Center for Performing Arts. It was in this building.
Correct.
And eventually in mid-70s, it shifted to Nariman Point. So that way, this is a very significant building. Why Panditji chose this, they bought this from Pavlova to here. One of the reasons was the NCPA was downstairs.
And also, Panditji bought the whole floor.
Yes.
So one floor was where Ma Annapurna ji was staying, and one floor was for Shubhoda.
Yeah, it was a smaller one was in name of Shubhoda, and a larger apartment was in name of Annapurna Devi.
Ji. So where do we begin today's program? Where do we start? We are all going to sit and listen. I'm going to occasionally ask some questions or say something, but I'm also today going to just sit here and listen to both of you, because I know you have such wonderful things to share and give to all of us.
What we want to clarify is what we are saying and what we are going to say is what we heard from Ma and Ali Akbar Khan and some other stalwarts of Mayyar Gharana. So all we are doing is we are going to reproduce what we gathered over the years of conversations with Guru Ma and others. So as I know, the sum of the some of the audience which we know, they are not much from the classical domain. So if you allow a very quick recap of how it all began. So it all began in 1934 when Alauddin Khan Baba joined Uday Shankar ji's troupe you know. And it was originally Timir Baran, but as he signed the film, so Baba joined Uday Shankar's troupe. And I'm now quoting from Baba's autobiography. Amar Katha is translated in English the exact verbatim words. While boarding the ship, Uday Shankar's mother Hemangini Devi told me, I'm entrusting Ravi to your guardianship. Henceforth, you are his father. Hello? Baba goes on to say, accordingly, I treated Ravi as my son, and during the long tour, I gave him some music lessons and later on taught him at Maya. Okay?
Ji.
So we need to understand that Baba himself in his childhood was homeless without parental support. He had no parental support. As a hyper emotional personality, Baba Alauddin Khan instantly developed. He saw himself in small young Pandit Ravi Shankar. And developed an instant bond with him. And many disciples, Baba had few hundred disciples over his life, but he loved nobody as dearly as he loved Panditji. Don't you think? So this was something very special. This relationship between the Guru Shishya was absolutely special. And Panditji was an epitome of Guru Bhakti. So before we talk, there is a lot to talk about Panditji's Guru Bhakti, but let us go little back in time and to understand Panditji better.
Sure.
According to psychologists, whatever events a child experiences in his formative years is so influential and it has impact throughout his life. Now, Panditji's childhood was a difficult one. See, his father Shyam Shankarji has abandoned him, meaning the whole family. He had migrated to London and married to some English woman. Panditji saw his father first time, that also for a brief period, when he was 8 years old or 9 years old. Okay. And in 1936, Panditji's father was murdered. Right? And in 1938, after prolonged illness, his mother died. Now, if you see, all happened, one after the other, all such traumatic events was too much for anybody, and too many things happening. But on a brighter side, please understand, there is something good happened, that he was on the tour and Panditji got exposed to so many countries, so many cultures, so many music, dance, cuisine. This experience no child could have, and this enriched his music, this broadened his vision, and it all manifested in his creation, in his music, in his personality throughout his life. So, to understand Panditji, you have to understand these facts.
Actually,
Absolutely.
I saw him first meeting of his, but not direct meeting, but in my childhood. When I was learning with Pannalal Ghoshi, my father was also his disciple. So there is the oldest music circle in Mumbai that is called Suburban Music Circle, Santa Cruz. And my father had taken me to attend Panditji's program. It's surprising that what kind of an artist he was, genius, a perfectionist, a methodist. The program started at 7 o'clock in the evening, and can you believe it ended at 4 o'clock in the morning? Great is the artist and great are the audience also. But it's not the audience, it's a main artist who can captivate the audience to that limit that they don't want to leave. That was kind of music Panditji played, And most Surila I have ever found anybody like this. Sometimes, the Tanpuras, you think of Tanpuras tuning. I think nobody has done better tuning of Tanpura, use of Tanpura than anybody else. Like Gapa Sasa, Dhare Sasa, and all this combination according to the rag. I think the Panditji has used it most effectively and most beautifully to create an atmosphere. And you can see his vidvata and imagination to extend a rag, any rag for that matter. A rag like Shri, which is very short according to all other general opinion the musicians, he extended it to 1.5 hours without any repetition. That is something, no ordinary people can do this. And then everybody knows that his repertoire of rag was great. He played in different tal. He did experiment with the orchestra. He did cine music and ballet music and different compositions and all that. New tals also he used. One can remember, I can actually remember this incident at Xavier's College Festival, where Zakir Hussain was accompanying him on tabla. And Panditji, for the first time, the audience and probably all the musicians learned about the Tishri Jati Rupak that time. For the first time, Panditji played that composition in Tishri Jati Rupak, which is quite difficult. Even for the tabla player, it's quite difficult without any rehearsal to play. And this kind of thing kept happening in Panditji's lifetime. It set a tradition of splitting new tals in half matras and all that. Everybody knows that. But and the best thing is that whatever rag he has created, they are so beautiful and easy to understand that all these ragas have been adopted by other gharanas and vocalists. I was surprised, one incident I'll tell you. I attended one concert of a flutist, my friend, and he played Rag Mohan Kant. When the concert was over, I asked him, why didn't you mention the name of Panditji as his composition, Mohan Kant as his composition? He said, no, this is traditional rag. It's written in Virendra Kishore Roy Chaudhary's book. I said, see, and he went on to bring that book in 2-3 days' time and show me that, see, this is written in this book, the notation and rag structure by Virendra Kishore Roy Chaudhary. Then I had to tell him that, well, Virendra Rai Kishore was, disciple of Baba, and that's why he was Guru Bhai of Panditji. And Panditji and he went on well with each other, like, good friends. They both of them like, discussing music, different ragas and this. So when Panditji composed this rag in memory of Gandhiji, he had discussion with Virendra Kishore Rai. And he approved that rag and he said, it's very beautiful rag. Can I add this in my book? And that's how this book contains this rag. And people have a misconception that, this because it is in Virendra Kishore Roy Chaudhary's book, it must be traditional. Not so. And this has happened in many cases of Panditji's ragas.
No, especially, I would like to request Nityanandji to tell in exact words what Ma told us about Rag Bairagi.
It's very important. Very important.
Yeah. Listen to this very carefully.
Rag Bairagi, as we know, I know, it's made by Panditji. While everybody else think that it is not Panditji's contribution. So I asked Ma. I said, Ma, everybody says that Bairagi is the traditional rag. See, Ma, just asked me if it was a traditional rag, why there is no mention of this rag in the scriptures or old books, whatever it is. There is no mention of this rag anywhere. It was created by Pandit Ji, and he, in my presence, her presence,
In Guru Ma's presence, she said,
that-
Pandit Ji created this rag. He kept practicing different sequence, different, the phrases till he,
Different combinations.
till he finalized on one, and then he wanted to name it. So he asked Guru Ma, "Iska naam kya rakha jaye? What should it be named?" So have you thought of few names?
And
So he had
she-
shortlisted 3-4 names. And after listening, she said, yes, Bairagi, the one you have chosen, one of the 4 options was Bairagi. Please keep Bairagi because it does give the mood of the rag, the mood of the rendition is Vairagya, the disassociation, dispassion. So Ma herself was the eyewitness to this fact. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this was in the late 40s when Guruji and Annapurna ji, they were staying in Delhi. Guruji was in the All India Radio.
Right,
So
right.
it was during that time. In 1949, in fact, Sangeet magazine had published this beautiful composition of Guruji, which he has written.
Yes.
Sachi Surana Gao Kapatan Chhada Atam Ko Rijhao.
Right.
And
And
Panchi
similarly,
Bhav.
I have heard story about Nat Bhairav also.
Ji.
It is the creation of Nat Bhairav is the creation of Pandit Ji.
Ji.
That was I was told by my guru, Devendra Mureshwar Ji. Because they were Pandit Ji and Devendra Mureshwar were very close. Then when I told him that why everybody is not accepting the fact that this is Pandit Ji's creation, so he told me general jealousy amongst others. The which one the composition is so beautiful, all other ragas which they think why didn't they could think of this, and Pandit Ji thought of this and projected this.
Correct.
Then
Correct.
the discussion went on like this, and then I found out that when he created this rag, he met Professor Devdar, B.R. Devdar in Bombay, who is a musicologist and a very great scholar. And when they discussed this rag at sitting on the bench in Chowpatty, and when Pandit Ji asked Dr. B.R. Devdar ji, what rag should be given this name, what name should be given to this rag? So he suggested you can say Nat Bhairav, but the original Nat Bhairav, which Devdar knew, was slightly different than this.
Had Komal Rishabh and Shuddha Rishabh, both of them.
Yes. So people, should not mistake it as this Nat Bhairav, which is composed by Pandit Ji, is original traditional rag. It is entirely Pandit Ji's contribution. It's entirely Pandit Ji's imagination. That is what I have got the knowledge of this rag.
And if it is traditional, let's talk about Bairagi 1 minute back. There are so many, by 1940s, there were so many All India radio stations. Not a single station has any record of anybody performing Rag Bairagi. Be it Bhatkhande, Devdar, anybody. There is no mention of any magazine, any newspaper, any music record of anybody performing Rag Bairagi. So
Absolutely.
So how can you say that so it is a traditional rag?
And similarly, Pandit Ji is a great person, as a genius, I would say. He had visited our mutt in Shirali with one of his great friends, Mohan Hemade. He had some problems, and both of them decided that they should meet our Mathadipati and take his blessings so that his problem will be solved. And same thing happened after the blessings, Pandit Ji was free of his problem. So he thought of going there again. And when he went there, he saw the bells and the stotras and Veda singing. He was inspired to create a rag. he sat there and created a rag, new rag, which is called which he called as a Bhavani Bhairav,
Ji.
which
Wow.
nobody has heard it, I think. But Mr. Mohan Hemadi had maybe having this recording, I don't know. But this is the creation of the rag Panditji created, which is lost to the audience because he hardly played anywhere, I think.
Yeah, that's a very beautiful rag, morning rag on the spur of the moment he created. But Nityananji, you will be happy to hear that he taught that rag to us. And
Wow.
yes, and some of the disciples, they play this rag with full knowledge what Guruji gave. And also Chinnamma, she published a 3 CD album called Shankar Ragmala, which has got all the rags and tal created by Guruji. And in that you will find Bhavani Bhairav. I will share the recording with you.
Please.
I'll be very
As you
happy.
know, in our tradition, we have 3-note ragas. So Bhavani is an ancient rag. So with that 3-note samadha, he merged that with Bhairav and he created Bhavani Bhairav on the spot in the temple, and he played live there. It was a beautiful concert. Beautiful concert.
I must have it, please.
Yes, definitely. We will make it. Next time I'm there, I'll make sure. But so nice of you to remember. So ragas like this, Bairagi, Nat Bhairav, even Ahir Lalit.
Yes.
You know, thinking of it, Nityananji and Atul Bhai, I would say these ragas are traditional. It is almost 70 years old now. Created by Panditji, of course. But these are traditional now because it's played and sung by everybody. And it's
sung by everybody now.
Part of the All India Radio audition program, part of the university syllabus. So it is a traditional raga now. Nat Bhairav is traditional. Bairagi is
sung by many vocalists also.
And it was created by Pandit Ravi Shankarji. That one thing, if people add, I think Panditji will be happy. We all will be happy that he gets his due, because we feel that his contribution has not been cherished enough, and the due which he deserves, which he should be credited, it's far from what it should be.
And he was a live wire, Jinda Army. Yeah, Jinda Army. So you look at his personality, the behavior.
Full of life.
Yes.
Meaning the nervous energy. It's a wrong word to use it, a nervous energy. It was some celestial energy he was getting from somewhere. God knows from where he was getting it. It was a celestial energy. Like Baba also, full of energy. Where they get this energy? It has to be some celestial energy.
Ma talking about him used to say, because in doing such a great sadhana, music is a sadhana, and when you have this sadhana to that extent, like Indra used to say, send rishis apsaras to break their tapasya. So similar thing happens in musicians also who are in great sadhanas like this. To distract them, the Indra sends them with apsaras.
Absolutely. Just to go back to the sadhana, before that, there is one more story, if you allow me. I'll just want to add it because it's relevant to the ragas he created, Nityananji and Atul Bhai. He of course created original ragas. He also created rags which were already there, but he gave such a swaroop that it sounded so convincing. It sounded that agar Yaman hai to aise hi hona chahiye, Bhairav hai to aise hi hona chahiye. Agar Bhairav jab bhi logon ne banaya hoga, aise hi banaya hoga. The other side is also there, where apart from taking rags like Charukesi and Kirwani and Hamsadhwani, he also created rags. Like one classic example is Janasan Modini. When he considered the scale and he started playing it, he had no name in mind. He started performing. It became very popular. Then he consulted a Carnatic musician in the All India Radio here in Delhi, and they said, look, I have never heard this, but let me go and find out. So he found out that just the scale is there, but no composition kriti of Tyagaraja or Syama Shastri or Dikshitar. There is no so Jana Sanmodini, even though Guruji used the name, the Swarup is totally his. And it became, again, as all his rags, it became popular overnight, and people started calling it as Carnatic composition. And I will tell you, just a few days back, I performed a combination of North and South with a violinist from South, a wonderful violinist. And I asked him, I said, can we play Jana Sanmodini? And he looked at me, he says, how do you play that? So I showed what Guruji has taught. And I asked him, I said, is there a, he says, well, I have never played, I have never heard, I have never been taught, and there are no compositions. So we worked on the scale and we performed it. It was aired yesterday online. So, and we have even spoken to Balmurli ji and all that. The Swarup what Guruji gave is so unique.
Yes,
The thing is, people follow him by learning or by listening or whatever. अगर बोलने में क्या जाता है, हम खाली एक बार बोलना है कि नहीं हमने उनका सुना, we got inspired, we are उसमें कोई छोटा बड़ा नहीं हो जाता है. But at least
whenever Panditji played any South Indian rag,
जी,
he played in his own style as if it was his own creation.
Absolutely.
He gave a new identity to the rag.
absolutely, absolutely.
He played in his own
Charukesi,
way. It was just the scale he borrowed. But
Absolutely.
the feelings, the emotions, the phrases were all his own.
All his
but
own.
I
I'll
must-
never forget. Charukesi, once I was traveling from Madras to Bangalore after a concert, and there was a very renowned musician. He was in the same train, the Vrindavan Express, coming to Bangalore. And we were talking, and he mentioned about Guruji's Charukesi, and beautiful statement, I'll never forget it. He said he borrowed this rag from us and gave us back a better version.
Yeah, absolutely. But I must add to this, thing. Though he played the South Indian Carnatic ragas, he
Ji,
maintained the shastra of those ragas in spite
Yeah.
of playing.
Yeah, he
And
didn't pervert it.
And probably he is the first person to introduce. Probably Abdul Karim Khan Sahab must have introduced one or two ragas, but Panditji was the person who introduced many South Indian ragas like Shivendra Madhyam and Shiv
Shiv-Ranjani.
Ranjan. Yes. Like this, other ragas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Panditji's sadhana.
Yes. Let's go to that part. That's
No,
so
let's go back. Let's go back to his coming to Maihar and his formative, meaning his talim years. Let's talk something about his talim years, because people don't understand what kind of hard work and tenacity he showed as a disciple.
Yes.
Now, just to begin with, after the Second World War, suddenly the Second World War broke, and they had to abandon the tour, and the whole thing shifted to Almora.
1945.
Yes, Himalayas. And there again, Alauddin Khan Sahib, and with the help of Ali Akbar Khan Sahib, were teaching music. At that time, Panditji took the decision to devote his life to music. So he came to Maihar, right? Now his first acid test. Now this is so dramatic. The Baba said that I don't teach sissified dandies. And he said, I don't want to teach you because I don't teach sissified dandies. Panditji immediately went, shaved off his head, and came back to Baba. And Baba was shocked. From that day onwards, he was the most favorite disciple of Baba till the very end. Now think that now 18-year-old, my son is 17-year-old. If I ask him to have a haircut, it's a very difficult proposition. Now think about this, Panditji at the age of 18, and he was not from some village. He spent most of his life in Europe, right? And suddenly he had such beautiful long hair, and to shave off and come and wear the dhoti, not all these Western clothes. And he stayed in a small cottage adjoining Madina Bhavan. At that time, it was called Shanti Kutir. Later, the name was changed to Madina Bhavan.
Ji.
Now, this was all in today's generation, if we tell such stories, they are not going to believe that a young boy could do everything on his own. There was no compulsion. Please understand. So this is something unbelievable. And Ma said to us that Panditji never missed a session, not a minute of his talim and practice and riyas. जरा बोलना रियाज का बारे में बोलना
नहीं रियाज तो सभी लोग करते थे एवरीबडी यूज्ड टू डू रियाज दैट इज डिसिप्लिन ऑफ बाबा so there was no escape for anybody to get out of it but his dedication was so great that music went into his mind 24 hours he was thinking of music and everybody thinks that Panditji is very very laikar and tihais and all that are set. It's not that. I always said what Panditji plays, those tihais are not set tihais. He has worked on it so hard. He was engrossed 24 hours in doing counting and preparing, things his mind for these tihais. That even he would be called for a lunch or a dinner, his mind is in this thing is counting and not in the eating.
No, Ma, I'll try to mimic Ma what she said. That he would have, she would call her half a dozen times for dinner, and he would keep delaying because he's, doing his riyas. Then when it comes on the dinner table, he has no idea what his right hand is eating because his focus is on the left hand counting matras, and the right hand is eating. It's a matter of indifference what the right hand is eating. And his total focus throughout the dinner or otherwise also was on his music, on the left hand counting matras, todas, tans, palta. So that kind of dedication is unheard of.
Even his vocal music singing is so good. You see that BBC small clip, no, where he's been conducting the orchestra, all these stalwarts, Hari Prasad ji, Pandit Hari Prasad ji, Pandit Shiv Kumar ji, and all, everybody singing, and Pandit Vinay Bharatram ji is singing.
Ji.
His singing is so professional. The
Powerful. Powerful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He would always stress that without vocal you cannot do anything. That's the primary.
Yeah.
You have to sing.
And his personality was also so magnetic. The best joke, the best part of this training by Baba, I always wonder how he created this kind of impact on students that their memory was enhanced. Panditji had such a prolific memory, I'd like to tell one incident which happened in Bombay. Panditji used to conduct orchestra and there used to so many musicians, 30, 40 of them. He knew each and everybody by name. When he conducted that Doordarshan signature tune, there was a big function in Bombay, Doordarshan TV studios. The ministers and everybody, all VIPs had come. And after the inauguration of that, the signature tune was played with that, kind of a circle and triangles. Yeah. And when the function was over, and there was audience, some people sitting in the audience, invited audience, in presence of the invited audience. When the function was over, they left for a breakfast, tea, and kind of a thing. While walking, he just looked in the audience and called one person by name. Are you so and so? I forgot the name of that artist. He is a Rajasthani violin player, a great violin player. He's no more now. But when he had come to All India Radio, he narrated this story. And he was shocked that Panditji, after so much of changes in his face, Panditji could just pinpoint him and called him by name. And he called him near and hugged him in presence of all the ministers and ignoring all the protocols, And he hugged him and I said, how are you? And all that inquired. And he was a very poor man. And he was overwhelmed by Panditji's gesture, so he started crying. So Panditji consoled him. He said, "What is wrong? What is your problem?" So he said, I'm pulling on somehow, and I have to do marriage of my daughter now. I'm just thinking of how it happened." He said, "Don't worry, God is there." And he hugged him and he took him along with him for this tea ceremony. Make him sit next to him, and nobody could say anything because, well, he is not invited and all that. But Panditji took him, and after everything was over, he removed a checkbook from his bag and wrote rupees 25,000
In those days,
on those days.
25,000 in those days. It
And
was a
gave it to
different
him.
era.
He said, "This may help you for your daughter's marriage. Please keep it." And he just broke down, fell at his feet. And that is what a great gesture.
I mean, he was large-hearted. He was large-hearted. There's no doubt.
You know, another student of his, the entire collection of his concert was given to him to buy a flat
in Bombay.
Yeah. We don't want to name him, but we were very close to that gentleman.
But Nityanand ji, he has done that all his life. I remember every time, earlier days, about 15-20 years back, when I went to All India Radio Delhi to play, some old musicians were still there who had worked under him. So they would tell me one thing very clearly, that he would get his salary, and the salary would last from the studio till the gate of All India Radio.
Yes, right.
वहां तक जाते जाते उनका सैलरी खत्म हो जाता था. किसी को 5 रुपया 10 रुपया, उसके घर में प्रॉब्लम है, इसके घर में. He says घर पे जब वो पहुंचते थे, there was nothing left. So whatever then little concerts here and there he would run his house on, this he has done all his life. Helped musicians, helped
and
fellow.
the best part, in those days he was in debt.
And he was himself not very well off, that he had.
No, he was in debt, and still he was giving.
See, when you're talking about Delhi studios, I was reminded of one incident. About Panditji's wit and a humorous nature. He was terrific. I mean,
his sense of humor, Guru Ma said, and now we don't know the details, but Guru Ma said he was a fantastic mimicry artist.
Mimicry and pun-loving man. So there was one tabla player, aspiring tabla player, who used to come and pester Panditji. Panditji, जरा मेरा सुनो, तबला सुनिए, थोड़ा सुनिए, मेरे को आपको सुनाना है. And Panditji used to say, okay, I will listen to it. But then every day he would come. So his colleague asked him, "अरे एक दिन सुन लो ना इनको. Why don't you listen to them? The poor guy is coming so regularly with a desire that you will listen to him and appreciate him. Why don't you?" So Pandit said, "Okay, let's go now only." And the artist came he brought him in the studio. The moment he was given tabla, he said, "अरे पंडित जी क्या है, मेरी तबीयत आज थोड़ी खराब है, गुलगुमा है, and ताकत नहीं है. So पंडित जी winked at the colleagues. ताकत नहीं है, अच्छा बिना ताकत के बोल बोला. You understand? ताकत tabla bols.
Takat.
And for 10 seconds, nobody realized what Panditji said. And then there was a roar, laughter, after understanding what he said. So that was a sense of humor, amazing sense of humor, you know.
Yes.
And even once about talking of his puns and this thing, Ustad Shamim Ahmad Khan was narrating me once that they were sitting in a restaurant. Even I think that time Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma ji also were there, and after having the breakfast, something. So the waiter came with the bill and put it in front of the Ustad Shamim Ahmad Khan. So Shamim Ahmad Khan just pushed it to Pandit ji and said, there was a picture movie, Dil Deke Dekho. So Shamim says, "Bill Deke Dekho." The instant reply was, there was another movie, Dil Hai Tumhara. So he said, "Bill Hai Tumhara." Panditji said. So after some time, he asked him, बोलो बोलो कुछ बोलो. तो पंडित जी से he says, ये दिल ना होता बेचारा. तो पंडित जी से दिल मांगे मोर. So again,
So all the dil were replaced by bill.
so
Every was replaced with a B.
Bill.
तो ये दिल किसको दूं, तो ये बिल किसको दूं, पंडित जी से. तो शमीम से बिल है मुश्किल. तो जैसे कि जरा दिल को थाम लो तो जरा बिल को थाम लो. तो पंडित जी से बिल का क्या कसूर. तो
फिर वही बिल लाया हो.
फिर वही बिल लाया.
वही bill लाया हो.
Well, they were amazing.
Amazing.
That upaj ang, in music, the upaj ang,
So he says, शमीम से दिल तो मानता ही नहीं. तो पंडित जी laughed and said, okay, दिल दिया, बिल दिया, दर्द दिया. और बाद में चलो उठो सब, हम बिल दे चुके सुनो.
Bill
That's the kind of upaj Pandit ji always had.
जी.
Whatever the tabla would produce, he would always reply to that. And always, puns and hazard babi jisko bolte hain na, instant wit.
Yeah.
He had that terrific wit with him.
Sense of presence was unbelievable.
And one thing I always observed, everybody must have observed that Pandit ji was a small stature man, that comparatively. But when he sat on the stage, however big the stage was, his aura was so big that
Absolutely.
stage looked small.
Yeah.
I always observed that.
Even
He
in
was a
Shanmugh Khan, I've seen him in Shanmugh Khan and all the biggest Bombay has, and as if it was some small auditorium. Meaning that was his presence, that was his personality.
And then people talk about his music, and actually I appreciate that approach of Pandit ji, because as the age we age, our physical ability is diminished, and if you think that you will have so much of vigor in your younger age, is not possible. And Pandit ji is the only person I have seen who adopted to the new techniques and new methods of playing, keeping the rag and sensitivity and everything, purity of the rag, but adapting to his physical abilities. It only happened with him. Nobody else. People tried with at the age of 80. It's not possible to come that time. So Pandit ji was the only person who I think adopted to the physical ability of himself. And there was a sometime early time when he visited Western countries like America and all that, and that was a time of hippies. And when he came back and started performing, there was a murmur that Pandit ji has forgotten his music and become light and all that. Now, one such occasion, there was a review in the newspaper, Lok Satta, the Marathi local newspaper. The critic was himself a veena player, music critic. And another critic was Mohan Nadkarni, a very famous music critic and musicologist of Times of India. So I was very close to him. So he told me this personally, that when this review appeared in Marathi paper, Pandit ji called Mohan Nadkarni ji and asked, I want all of you and the connoisseurs of music.
No, what was written in the Lok Satta?
Yeah, that was about music has changed, it's become hippie and this.
That he has westernized it, that he has lightened it, that he has,
And he requested Mohan ji to call all the connoisseurs of music along with the music critic for a private baithak at his place. And everybody was invited. And Pandit ji played from 5 o'clock evening till 10 o'clock night. He would have continued, but he wanted to serve them food also.
So the dinner was served at 10. He started around 4,
So
if I'm
you
not
can
wrong.
imagine 5 o'clock he started with Rag, Shri, which is considered to be a shorter rag, you know, and to continue that rag without repetition with the same effect for 1.5 hours, if somebody's what can imagine what Panditji's ability could be like. And then he asked, do you think my music has suffered? And everybody has to agree, no, 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 no. It's the same. And they touch his foot. It, you know, my small childhood memory, I mean, shows 7 o'clock program, which happened in Suburban Music Circle, went on up to 4 o'clock in the morning.
Amazing, amazing.
Surya Danashi, then this, and then Miyaki Malan, and then I went to sleep because I was a child. I only woke up at 2:30 or 2 o'clock to see the Jayanti was going on.
We once asked Ma that all artists, meaning so many, there were so many hard-working artists, you know, but what made Panditji such a big star? You know, what was the quality? So Ma said one quality, Guru Bhakti. Apart from hard work, of course, Guru Bhakti. Now, you know, just, you know, Batuk Divanji, huh? He was the first one to introduce Panditji to the Bombay audience. And he was a manager for a while. He himself was a music critic, a lawyer, and a singer in his own right. And he has told me this numerous times. He has written this also, that he was talking with Panditji in a drawing room of the guest house they were, you know, accommodated. At that time, Baba was visiting Bombay. So every time Baba would be in sight, not in the same room, passing from that, you know,
Veranda.
corridor, Panditji would get up, stop talking, would do pranam to Baba, and the moment he's out of sight, he again resume his talk. Again, if Baba came, he would get up, do pranam, till he's out of sight. Now, this happened half a dozen times, but Panditji didn't miss one time. Now, Batuk Divanji said there was nobody there. So he was not doing this to impress anyone. And even if the people were there, his behavior towards Baba never changed. Now, this is something unheard of in this era. Meaning, if you tell the youngsters today, they can't believe such stories.
Absolutely, absolutely. His Guru Bhakti was absolutely amazing. I mean, he would always, wherever, whether an interview or giving a talim or practicing, there was always a picture of Baba, and he would always light an agarbatti, show it to Baba, do pranam, and then start his session wherever he was. And so many wonderful things he told us, you know, that whatever he is today because of his Guru. He would
Annapurna Devi
always say
Guru,
that.
Annapurna Devi has repeatedly told us that she saw so many disciples of Baba, but nobody, you know, he was epitome of Guru Bhakti Panditji. Nobody could even come near to that. You know, that was his Guru Bhakti.
When I remember when she was teaching me Rag Darbari, she said Darbari Shruti of Devat Gandhar is very, very precise and very difficult. Only Pandit Ravi Shankar can play this to correct Shrutis. Nobody else I have heard so far.
And people were jealous of him. I give you a small instance of, I'm just quoting, in 1944, Panditji was very, you know, young and fresh and new in the music world. He went to Lucknow's Marist College, founded by Bhatkandeji, you know, the famous Bhatkandeji, Vishnu Narayan Bhatkandeji. And there he played a beautiful rendition, and Baba was there. So I'm just quoting, at the end of the recital, Sakhawat Khan, the Sarod teacher of Marist College, commented, "यह तो सरोद का बाप सितार पे बजा रहा है." You know, to that in English, he's playing the Saroj
Sarod Baj.
Baj on sitar. So Baba was very angry, and Baba was known for firing anybody anytime. So Baba's exact words: "Music is but a means of worshipping Sharda Ma, which can be done on any instrument. I have tried to imbibe the most difficult Bidkar style in all the instruments." So Panditji didn't speak a word, but Baba got up and in front of everyone, fired the hell out of the professor.
See, if you listen to his Yaman or Puryadhanashri on YouTube, oh, that amazing Jor Jhala is something extraordinary. Oh,
जोड़ झाला तो ऐसा किसी का
कोई
Absolutely.
बजाए नहीं ऐसा जोड़. Yeah. And
if you
one
allow me,
thing,
जी बोलिए.
see now, sorry to say this, but nowadays there is a style of playing Pakhawaj with Jor. The Ma was telling me that this was a different thing. When the Jor was played, it was different with the Tarparan kind of a thing. Nowadays it is played with only, to give that beat, one, dhan, dham, and then people go on doing it. Pandit ji played this kind of a music. I mean, Pandit ji has to be blamed for this actually. People try to copy him all the way. Pandit ji played this program in 1962 in Bombay with a Pakhawaj and did Tarparan in an authentic way. Now, listeners or anybody, musician also, without learning, they won't know what kind of that four kind of jod which Pandit played that day. And people just thought, oh, it is only Pakhawaj and then this. So people take Pakhawaj as only as in jod, as this thing, but the system is very different.
Very
Which
different.
Pandit yes.
Very different. Nityanand ji, if you allow me, there are some messages, especially from Sukanya ji, Chinnamma.
Oh my God.
Those are very important messages. If I can read it for all of you,
Please.
and also for our viewers, I think they are very important. So her first message, of course, says namaskar and welcome to you both. And then her next message is absolutely about Bairagi, which we spoke about, of course. And then Chinnamma is mentioning that the concert Guruji did and raised money for a disciple of his to buy a house in Bombay. That was Shamim Ahmed ji, Shamim Ahmed Khan Sahab, who Guruji loved very much. Guruji really loved Shamim ji very much. Uske baad, Chinnamma would like to hear more stories about Annapurna ji and Guruji. And there is a beautiful message here from, I always get tears in my eyes when I hear this. And Chinnamma even today mentioned it. I want to read this for everybody.
Please,
When Anushka was only 13 years old, only 13, and Guruji was not well that time, Guruji told Sukanya ji, Guruji told Chinnamma, if anything happens to me, the only person who can teach Anushka rags is Annapurna.
Oh.
Anushka has inbuilt tal sense, so you don't worry about that. Annapurna ji always had a special place in Guruji's heart till the very end.
Yes. Even she had the same. Till the end, she always had a special place in heart for her.
So
आपको सुन के ताज्जुब होगा जब भी वो बजाती है अनुष्का, मेनी टाइम्स गुरुजी उसका हाथ देख के गुरुजी बोलते थे मुझे अन्नपूर्णा का हाथ याद आ रहा है.
Oh, क्या बात.
So
Now,
lucky.
one anecdote here is
जी.
not a slightly tricky one.
जी,
That
जी, जी.
some 30 years ago, if I remember, 35 years ago, in a print media,
जी.
there was an interview of a young artist, meaning the journalist could have, cooked up the story, or the artist himself later on said, I never said like this, but it was printed, it was published, that he challenged Pandit Ravi Shankar for Jugalbandi.
जी, जी, जी.
Meaning to the effect of अगर हिम्मत हो तो वो हमारे साथ something like that. If he challenged him, he defied him for a jugalbandi. So Ma would never read newspapers, but somehow our mistake that we shared this little clip of the newspaper, we showed her. She didn't read, she asked us to read. And she was so angry that first time in her life, now just think about this, Chinnamma, please listen to this. She wanted to give an interview. She wanted to hold a press, meeting, a press conference to give reply, a fitting reply to this young artist. So we had to tell her that listen, now the artist, himself is denying it. Pandit is alive and is more than capable of handling him. Now you've never faced a journalist before. Now, if you hold a press conference just to answer this one allegation, rather the one claim, it's not done. And she was so angry that it took us quite a while to pacify her. Think about this. And her words were, कि ये लोग, I'll read if you allow me.
Sure, please.
Her exact words we have noted down. यह कम उम्र के लड़कों में ज्ञान कम और घमंड ज्यादा है. पंडित जी के स्तर पे पहुंचने के लिए उनको अनेक जन्म लेने पड़ेंगे. So the English translation would be something like this: these young musicians have ego far larger than their achievements. They will need a few more rebirths to reach Panditji's level.
तब भी नहीं होगा.
No, but just imagine her, emotion, her passion for Panditji's music.
That respect.
Yes.
And in her life, I think after Baba, the most respected person
Yes.
was Panditji only.
Yes. Three people, she, how you say that, meaning unconditional love she had for. One was Baba, of course, Panditji and Bhaiya, that is Ali Akbar Khan.
वाह. नित्यानंद जी, थोड़ा आप थोड़ा वो किस्सा हमको बताइए उनके लास्ट डेज में जब वो सब भूल जाती थी.
Whether I want to, should I say this or no, I'm in doubt now.
No, it's okay. We are telling the truth. We are telling the truth. I would request.
This is family.
She was always, watching his photographs at the end. And this nurses and ayahs, they don't know anything about, they have just heard the stories of what happened in her life and all that. So the nurse would always ask her, अरे माँ जी, आपको इतना तकलीफ हो गया इस आदमी के लिए, आपने जिंदगी में इतना सोचना पड़ा, तो आप इसका फोटो देख के क्या कर रहे हो आप? तो she got so furious, थप्पड़ मारूंगी, तुम जानती हो कुछ, जाओ गेट आउट करके उसको बाहर निकाला. And she was so sentimental about Pandit ji. 100 times she must ask me, Pandit ji आए?
At that time, she was having, the age regression, the time distortion. So she would, in her last days, she would go in the 60s and 50s and 40s. So it was a distorted time, as it happens, to the, aging people. So in those days, now.
So पंडित जी आए, प्रोग्राम खत्म करके आए, कहाँ बैठे? बंदर बैठे हैं. अच्छा, उनको खाना खिलाया, अच्छा खाना खाए बराबर से, ठीक है. अच्छा, उनको सोने के लिए जरा बिस्तर बना दो और मच्छरदानी डाल दो, तो मच्छर नहीं काटेंगे. So this was always time.
So in English, she would, in a subconscious mind, would be in the 40s and 50s, and she would ask Nityanand, is Panditji back home? How was the concert? Which rag he played? How did it go? Did he have his dinner? Now don't disturb him, let him rest, So think about this,
Put the
mosquito net.
The mosquito net. Yeah. Think about this.
Amazing.
This is amazing. It's unbelievable. We have heard this and we still can't believe this.
Absolutely. These were all divine people, Atul Bhai, Nityanand ji. इन लोग आए हम लोग को रास्ता दिखाने के लिए. भगवान ने इनको स्पेशली इसी काम के लिए भेजा है, आशीर्वाद दे के भेजा है कि वो कितना भी काम करें, वो थकेंगे नहीं, उनको कितना भी दुख दर्द हो वो संगीत के बीच में ही रहेंगे, संगीत का ही उनको हरदम सहारा रहेगा। और जो काम वो करके गए हैं वो आज क्यों, आज से हजारों साल बाद भी वो उनके बारे में बात होगा, चर्चा होगा, लोग उनका संगीत बजाएंगे और सुनेंगे।
I think we should speak something about his stagecraft. No classical musician, artist, had this sense. Meaning this was he took, he raised the bar to some unbelievable height. Now, one small Suresh Dalal is a very renowned poet of Gujarati, and is a quite a scholar. So he was sitting with Pandit Ravi Shankar in the green room, and Pandit Ravi Shankar's program was next. Just for 40 minutes or 35 minutes, something like that, another artist was to perform, and then Panditji. But that artist program was being delayed. So Panditji just inquired, what is the delay about? So the organizers said that the audience is too talkative. That was Bombay. You can expect that. And there is too much of murmuring, and it's disturbing, meaning the artist is hesitant to start with so much noise. So Panditji very simply said, switch off the audience light. Just understand this. They switched off the audience light. There was pin drop silence, and there was no noise after that. Now, this sense, how many people had?
Absolutely.
To understand the crowd psychology, the audience psychology, they're talking, just switch off the light. And it was pin drop silent instantaneously.
Even Daman Sood, the great recordist,
Western Outdoor.
yeah, Western Outdoor, he admits that he has never seen a person like Panditji who has so much knowledge about the sound, critical knowledge about the sound. This is incredible what Panditji has know about the sound.
Now, there are some very funny incidents. I told, I don't know whether Nitya would like to, about the Rag Shri Jugalbandi.
No, don't mention it. No.
There were a lot of comedies. So,
Please, I think this is family.
No, what happens is, like, other group may think that it's a humiliation to their gurus and all. No.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, now everybody knows what a big star Panditji was. Everybody is worshipping him. How many people know what kind of struggle he went through?
Ji.
Meaning it's worthy of, sharing with the younger generation, the upcoming artists. What kind of struggle such big star, went through. So if you allow me, I would like to quote exactly Ma's word, Guru Ma's word. The way Annapurna Devi told me, we have written down. And
Ji.
if you allow me, I would just, share
Please.
verbatim. But it is in
Absolutely.
English. Now the problem is a bit would be lost in translation. But I'll try to tell it the way we heard from Ma.
Ji.
You people can't even imagine how much Baba struggled throughout his life. Now that is Alauddin Khan said. Panditji and Bhaiya too struggled greatly. That time Panditji was in debt and we were in severe shortage of money. We had rented a small apartment far from the city in the suburb of Borivali. Now in Hindi, because these are very sensitive words, so I've kept it in Hindi. तब आर्थिक स्थिति भी खराब थी. संगीत बजाकर कमाने में तब एडिया घिस जाती थी. देर रात तक रियाज करना और दिन भर काम मांगने जाना. Just understand the significance of these words. I'll translate it. Till the late hours of the nights, Panditji used to do his riyas, and during the day, he had to run from pillar to post to beg with the organizers to give concerts to perform, so he can earn some money. Now think of this. This is Pandit Ravi Shankar. He had to go through all this. Now it doesn't end there. What Marsh says further, please listen. Panditji suffered all sorts of humiliation from the organizers who disrespected him without realizing his musical prowess. These influential people shamelessly exploited Panditji in numerous ways. For example, under the pretext of introducing him to the film producers, they would keep baitaks of Panditji's concerts, recitals, and their wine and dine parties. Their wine and dine parties, one of the entertainment was Panditji, free of charge. Please understand this. I feel sad to mention that it was all free entertainment in the pretext of the promises they had no intention to fulfill. They didn't pay a dime to Panditji. Sometimes Panditji had to pay the tabla accompanist from his own pocket. Now it went on and on for years. Just imagine Pandit Ravi Shankar. People taking him for granted, not paying him. Think about it. And he would have his dinner after the concert. By the time everything is over, he had to come home and eat. They didn't even give him food. Think about it.
Yeah.
And there was other problems. Shubho's health was constant a problem. A catastrophe struck when Panditji fell seriously ill. This is what Maya said. I don't know what ailment it was, but Panditji was running high temperature. One day his body temperature went as high as 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this is near fatal, and I inquired with other, this thing. In medical terminology, it is called hyperpyrexia. So it's almost fatal. Please understand, it is so serious. A life-threatening condition. To pay the medical bills, Ma and Panditji had to sell all their jewelries, all their investments, all their savings. With medical treatment, Panditji's conditions improved, but it was a long road to full recovery. He had become so weak that he was struggling even to get out of bed. His high fever had affected Panditji's nervous system, giving him bouts of amnesia. Panditji started moving around within the house, but when he tried to resume playing sitar, he experienced total loss of memory. Just imagine, now from there he got up again, he recaptured his prowess, his music, and went on to become what he became. Now
This
just
was
see.
which year? Do you have an idea, Atul bhai? Which year?
They were living in Borivali at that time.
You're talking of 40s.
Of course, 40s.
1940s. Before
This was before he joined Delhi All India Radio.
Yeah. So from Maihar when they moved to Bombay.
Yes, Maihar, Bombay. Yes, before Delhi and after Maihar.
After Maihar.
So these are terrible stories. Any questions? Anything you would like to ask?
I think this is absolutely wonderful. There are lot of people are watching, and this has been absolutely amazing. It is absolutely very, very, very so enlightening, I would say, because you both are sitting in such a place where
one thing I must clarify. Our other Guru Bhais, the other disciples wanted to join, but because of COVID, all are scattered. One is in Jodhpur, one is, meaning all are different places. So it was not possible. But ideally, they would have liked to join. They regret that they are not here.
Yeah. But our best wishes to everybody. And I think, Chinnamma, if you're hearing, if there's anything else,
we would like Chinnamma to share something with us. If she can come on screen, and if she would, she wouldn't mind.
She's writing here,
sharing.
So, but it's absolutely amazing. This session is very, very special to us, Nityanand ji, Atul bhai. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for coming.
It was an honor.
Chinnamma is asking a question. Please talk about the recording of Pandit Nikhil Banerjee.
People are going to kill me, Okay. No. I'll share. I have no problem. It so happened that Ma used to test us from time to time, and we had a fixed day. Well, all the Guru Bhais would come to hear Ma's house on a Saturday evening, So one
Can
Saturday
you
evening,
repeat that? Yes, I missed it. I'm sorry. Chinnamma was on the phone. Can you repeat that, please?
yeah, Saturday we had a Saturday rendezvous, that all the disciples would come and just meet, meaning couple of lessons were there, but basically to meet and dine because mass cooking was something to die for.
Amazing.
So we used to come, we would share, learn from her. So what we learned from her, the book I'm writing and the Penguin is publishing in June, is nothing but the collection of what we heard from her. All the stories and all the conversations.
Yes, I'm looking forward to reading it.
Yeah. So one day when we came, if you remember in those days, there was spool recorder.
Ji.
And Ma asked Rushiji to play it without telling us who is the artist, which rag is that, and how was the rendition. Good, bad, what was wrong, what was good, So three questions and three answers. So the recording started with the bandish, with the tabla. So the alap and jod was not, we could not hear. So alap and jod are very easy to make out whether it is Panditji or not. It is very simple. So she deliberately didn't keep that part. And there was a beautiful sitar recital. There was nothing wrong with it. And it was such a complicated rag, except Nityanand, nobody could even tell the name of the rag. You remember the name of the rag?
Shuddha Basant.
Huh?
Shuddha Basant.
Shuddh Basant. Now, I really didn't know that rag, and few of us could not make out. But we knew it was sitar, it was good sitar. Then the next question was, who is the artist? Now we counted the matras, and if it is not Tintal, it can't be Vilayat Khan Sahib, because Vilayat Khan Sahib in his entire life didn't play anything but Tintal. So it was not Vilayat Khan Sahib. And sometime we could hear the Kharaj, Kharaj tar, the Kharaj string. So the sitar belonged to our Gharana. And it was wonderful. There was nothing wrong with the rendition. But after she asked, who is the artist? Now that was the problem. It was very difficult to make out because the recording was not that clear. So some people said Panditji, and like Nityanand and myself and a few others, some said that this can't be Panditji. This is not his way of playing. So then the recording was over, and we asked, please tell us the answer now. It was Nikhil Banerjee. So some people, in order to please Ma, said, oh, Pandit Nikhil Banerjee was so much better than Pandit Ravi Shankar, he was the best and this and that. Ma didn't react. She just said one sentence, that Nikhil Banerjee was good tayari, good riyaz, everything good. But in Rag Dari, to reach Panditji's level, he had a lot to learn. So she was so unbiased, her own student, her own, meaning no rivalry with, in music. What is.
Absolutely. There is one more thing, Atul Bhai and Nityanand ji, if I may ask you, on a broader canvas, the influence of Guruji, influence of Panditji on other musicians, his influence.
I feel that they are all copying Panditji.
You feel that?
Even the math student could try to copy Panditji.
See, there is no musician, according to me, who is not influenced by Panditji. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
When I'm a sarodist, okay, I don't even play sitar, and I'm a very small-time music director. I make my composition. It is impossible not to think about Panditji, while you are composing something, or while you're playing something, or while you're performing something. I mean, there's
absolutely.
His influence
and it's wonderful to hear both of you my namaskar to you, my pranam to Annapurna ji, Baba, and everybody. And I look forward to seeing you both very soon on my next trip to Bombay. Meanwhile, you take care and be safe. And we have Navar here to do the closing.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav Da. Thank you, Nityanand ji. Thank you, Atul ji, to sharing such a beautiful stories about Mama.
We just reproduced what we had.
छोटा सा एक शायरी में बोलना चाहता हूँ, अंत करना चाहता हूँ उनके बारे में बोल करके, उस इंसान के बारे में कि कुछ बात है हमारी, हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी, कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी, सदियों रहा दुश्मन दौरे जमाना हमारा.
क्या बात है,
दौरे हमारा इकबाल, अल्लामा इकबाल.
Yeah. So with these words we come to the end to our show Reflections of today. Thank you so much once again to both of you. Thank you, Gaurav Da. And
we'll
to
come
the
back,
viewers,
we'll come back at 8 o'clock for another session with a wonderful conductor from the West, Karen Kaminsek, and we look forward to speaking with her and talking to her.
so viewers, do join us at 8 p.m. today. Till then, goodbye.
Bye.